Good morning, everyone, and welcome back once again to another class of government schemes. In today's class, my dear friends, we are going to talk about two very important schemes. The name of the schemes are Pradhanmantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana and Per Drop More Crop. Right? So, please give me a thumbs up if you can see me properly and can hear me properly. Then I'll quickly start the session. Good morning, destination. Please give me a thumbs up if everything is fine. If you can see me properly and can hear me properly. Morning, Srishti. Yes, I hope guys you are enjoying these government schemes classes and I should not tell you how much important these classes are for any government examination you are preparing for, right? Whether it is UPSC, RBI, SEBI, NABARD, not SEBI actually, RBI, NABARD, UPSC, state PCS. For every examination, these classes are very, very important. Okay, please give me a thumbs up if everything is fine. Yeah, I think I have a lot of thumbs up. So let's start the session without any delay and let's talk first about the Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana. Right? Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana. So as the name says, the scheme is all about providing irrigation support to the farmers. Right? Irrigation infrastructure or irrigation support to the farmers. Because Sinchai means what? Sinchai means irrigation. ठीक है, सिंचाई का मतलब भी क्या होता है? इरिगेशन. ठीक है, किसान मतलब फार्मर होता है और योजना मतलब स्कीम होता है, राइट? सो इट इज द स्कीम इज फॉर प्रोवाइडिंग इरिगेशन बेनिफिट टू द फार्मर्स. ठीक है, it was launched in the year 2015-16 as centrally sponsored scheme. And the people who don't know what is the meaning of centrally sponsored scheme and central sector scheme. So centrally sponsored schemes are those, my dear friends, where the funding, the amount that is used for implementing that particular scheme is shared between states and the central government, right? States and the central government, while the central sector schemes are those where the entire funding is borne by the central government, right? So Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana is a centrally sponsored scheme. Now this the implementing ministry, it is quite strange or बहुत पेचीदा चीज है ये. See, when the scheme was launched, there were four components under this particular scheme, right? Accelerated irrigation benefit program, हर खेत को पानी, watershed development, and per drop more crop. This went on till 2021-22. But in 2022-23, the per drop more crop component since 2022-23 is being implemented under Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana, right? And that component, per drop more crop, was implemented by the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare under Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana, right? And till that time, the nodal implementing ministry for this particular scheme, Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana, was the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare only. But today, when we are talking about Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana, there are only two ministries which are implementing the three components of Krishi Sinchai Yojana. Number one is Ministry of Jal Shakti, which is implementing accelerated irrigation benefit program and Har Khet Ko Pani. And second is Ministry of Rural Development, which is implementing the watershed development component. ठीक है, watershed development component को implement कर रहा है, which means there is no role of Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare now under this particular scheme. So if anyone asks you which ministry is the nodal ministry, it is very difficult to answer because there are two ministries which are together implementing this particular scheme, and Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare has no role now, right? So that is why they are not going to ask the nodal ministry the question based on nodal ministry. So there are two ministries which are implementing दिस पर्टिकुलर स्कीम. ठीक है, चलिए आगे चलते हैं to the eligibility criteria. That's very simple. All farmers, FPOs, and agricultural cooperatives, state governments are responsible for implementing the irrigation projects. The target groups are small and marginal farmers who actually are in the need of irrigation support because जो अमीर farmers हैं, they do have enough resources to install the irrigation plants, to install the irrigation infrastructure, right? Farmers in rain-fed and drought-prone areas and agricultural enterprise and agribusiness firms that use irrigation infrastructure. So और ये आपको याद रखने की जरूरत नहीं है. It is just for the basic understanding that okay, the government is providing the support under Krishi Sinchai Yojana to such type of individuals and organizations. ठीक है. नाउ टॉकिंग अबाउट दी कंपोनेंट्स, नंबर 1 इज हर खेत को पानी। ठीक है, इसके अंदर 4 सब कंपोनेंट्स है। यस, यू नीड टू रिमेंबर एटलीस्ट द नेम्स ऑफ द सब कंपोनेंट्स अंडर हर खेत को पानी। नंबर 1 is command area development and water management. If you remember, abhi recently the government has launched modernization of command area development and water management sub scheme under Krishi Sinchai Yojana under 1600 with a total outlay of 1600 crore for 2 years period 25-26, and under that जो न्यूली लॉन्च सब स्कीम है उसके अंदर क्या हो रहा है, द गवर्नमेंट इज फोकसिंग ऑन मॉडर्नाइजेशन ऑफ इरिगेशन इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर। ठीक है, now let's come back to the 4 sub components of हर खेत को पानी। number 1 is command area development and water management, right? It bridges the gap between irrigation potential created and utilized. Okay, now देखो, there is one thing that we have created the irrigation potential, and then there is other thing that we have utilized the irrigation potential, right? So there is a difference, so we need to reduce the gap. अब irrigation के infrastructure बना तो दिए, but उसका इस्तेमाल अगर नहीं करेंगे, so what will be of, then what is the use of creating the irrigation infrastructure, right? So that is what being done by command area development and water management. Surface minor irrigation covers irrigation projects for areas under 2000 hectares, repair, renovation and restoration of water bodies and groundwater development. These are the 4 components of हर खेत को पानी। ठीक है, now the second component is accelerated irrigation benefit program. Under this particular program, the Ministry of Jal Shakti provides financial assistance for major and medium irrigation projects. Now you can see the minor irrigation projects. The minor irrigation projects are covered under Har Khet Ko Pani. The medium and major irrigation projects are covered under accelerated irrigation benefit program. So you need to understand this thing. Okay. And then we have watershed development component, which is being implemented by the Ministry of Rural Development, and it covers rain-fed and degraded lands, जहाँ पे watershed बनाए जाते हैं और इन watersheds के थ्रू खेतों में पानी दिया जाता है, right? Now, what is the financial assistance and what is the total outlay? That's very important to be remembered. So I hope you remember we discussed it in PIB that the scheme Pradhanmantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana has been extended for the 15th Finance Commission period, that is 21-22, 25-26, with a total outlay of 93,068 crores. ये 0.56 रहने देंगे, चलेगा। 93,068 crores, out of which 37,454 is the central assistance. ठीक है, and you just have to remember the central assistance, that is enough. ठीक है, and under this particular scheme 3% interest subvention is provided on loans up to ₹2 crores for eligible beneficiaries, right? मतलब अगर कोई irrigation project खुद से install करना चाहता है, then the government will provide 3% interest subvention. The ministries will provide 3% interest subvention on loans up to a maximum ₹2 crore. 2 करोड़ तक का आपको interest subvention मिलता है। ठीक है, now let's talk about some other important features. Number 1 is special focus on drought prone areas. Of course, when we are talking about irrigation, the special focus must be on the drought prone areas. जब जहाँ पे already पानी है, already irrigation की सुविधा है, वहाँ तो focus area नहीं होगा ना, right? So financial assistance is being provided for 83 minor irrigation projects and 8 major and medium projects in Vidarbha, Marathwada and Maharashtra region. Okay, and it is being integrated with other government schemes as well. For example, it is now integrated with Agriculture Infrastructure Fund scheme, under which the funding is provided through Agriculture Infrastructure Fund for development of irrigation projects. For development of irrigation projects, ठीक है, मतलब irrigation projects के लिए Agriculture Infrastructure Fund से scheme पैसा आ रहा है। ठीक है, तो ये थी scheme. Let's talk about the expected outcome, right? Expected outcome क्या है? बहुत बेसिक है। देखो, ये सब expected outcome बहुत बेसिक है, but still मैं आपको एक स्लाइड इसकी इसलिए दे रहा हूँ ताकि आपके पास words हो to write an answer in your exam. First of all, improved water management. Okay, when we obviously talk about the irrigation the benefits, it helps in improving the water management. It will increase the efficiency in water use through micro irrigation and drip irrigation systems. Sustainable agriculture and climate resilience. Increased water storage capacity in drought prone areas. Enhancing food security and rural development. It leads to reduction in crop loss due to drought and water shortage. ठीक है, तो ये हो गए इसके expected outcomes. ठीक है, इसकी headings भी याद रख लोगे, then you will be able to elaborate these headings in your answers. Alright, so that was Pradhanmantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana. Now let's talk about per drop more crop component. Now, as I already told you that the per drop more crop was, used to be implemented under Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana as the component, and PDMC per drop more crop used to be implemented by the Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. But since 22-23, it is being implemented under Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana, right? And what is the objective? What must be the objective of per drop more crop? Per drop more crop, as the name says, एक drop में ज़्यादा crops, यानी कि it is talking about micro irrigation. Sorry about that. Must be talking about micro irrigation. Now micro irrigation मतलब like drip irrigation, sprinkler irrigation. जैसे sprinkler irrigation होता है जो बहुत दूर तक इसमें पानी जाता है और ज्यादा से ज्यादा क्रॉप्स को वो कवर करता है. So the objective of per drop more crop is to enhance water use efficiency in agriculture through micro irrigation technologies like drip and sprinkler irrigation system. Its launch has gone through, you know, a lot of उठापटक. ठीक है, बहुत सारी बार चेंज हुआ ऐसे ऐसे, तो देख लेते हैं. It was originally launched as centrally sponsored scheme on micro irrigation in 2006. Okay. Then it was upgraded to National Mission on Micro Irrigation in 2010. Then it was merged with National Mission on Sustainable Agriculture in 2014. After that, since 2015, it was being implemented under Krishi Sinchai Yojana, and finally from financial year 22-23, it is being implemented under Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana. ठीक है, ये पूरा इसका जो क्रोनोलॉजी है वो याद रखेंगे. ये पहले it was launched in the year 2006. It was launched in the year 2006 as CSS on micro irrigation. Then it was upgraded to National Mission on Micro Irrigation in 2010, merged with National Mission on Sustainable Agriculture in 2014. Since 2015, PMKSY, and since 2022-23, RKVY. Right? It is being implemented by the Department of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. It is clear. Now, the target group. This is important. So, the small and marginal farmers are the target group, of course, and they get 55% of the subsidy on loans. 55% of the subsidy on the loans or irrigation projects. Other farmers receive 45% financial assistance, right? Northeastern and Himalayan state. If the farmer belongs to any of the northeastern state or the Himalayan state like Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand, they get 25% higher subsidy, which means if it is a small and marginal farmer of Himachal Pradesh, then that farmer will get 55 plus 25, that is 80% subsidy. 80% subsidy on the irrigation project, right? And states with low micro irrigation penetration get a 15% higher subsidy to encourage adoption, right? अब now जो ड्रॉट प्रोन एरियाज है लाइक महाराष्ट्र का कुछ रीजन है, कुछ रीजन मध्य प्रदेश का है, कुछ रीजन राजस्थान का है, कुछ रीजन गुजरात का भी है ऑफ कोर्स. ना यहाँ पे जो ये स्टेट्स है, they they are provided with 15% extra subsidy, 15% extra subsidy in order to encourage the adoption of micro irrigation techniques in the farms, right? Now there is a micro irrigation fund as well. I hope you remember micro irrigation fund भी है यहाँ पे, that was established with NABARD, जिसका initial corpus कितना था 5,000 crores. Under this micro irrigation fund, NABARD provides 2% interest subvention on loans for micro irrigation projects. ठीक है, ये बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है, याद रखना. माइक्रो इरिगेशन का फंड का कॉर्पस 5,000 करोड़ and 2% interest subvention is provided, right? And obviously it is linked with other government schemes. This is something which is very basic, I should not tell you. What are the expected outcomes? Again, the basic, these two schemes are very basic actually. Expansion of micro irrigation coverage, improved water conservation efforts, क्योंकि माइक्रो इरिगेशन में क्या होता है, पानी कम लगता है. पर ड्रॉप मोर क्रॉप, राइट? इसके नाम से ही समझ में आ रहा है दैट वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट वाटर कंजर्वेशन. वी वांट टू सेव द वाटर, right? And goes to climate resilient agriculture. These are the three major expected outcomes of per drop more crop. Okay, I hope my dear friends both the schemes are clear. If yes, please give me a thumbs up. And I could see very less number of people attending the live classes, and even after the classes, people are not watching the government scheme sessions. Please tell me the reasons. What are the reasons? Chaliye, let's solve the questions now. Let's solve the questions based on these two schemes. The scheme X was launched in 2015 to enhance irrigation coverage, improve water use efficiency, and promote sustainable water conservation practices. The scheme was extended till 15 Finance Commission period with an outlay of 93,068 crores. The scheme has three components. Which of the following component implementing ministry pair is correct? Okay, so there are a lot of schemes. There are a lot of hints here to identify that this Pradhanmantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana, where do remember whenever you will have to identify the scheme in your examination. Please focus on the keywords, key numbers, right? Like for example, here the key number is 93,068 crores. If you remember that this outlay belongs to Krishi Sinchai Yojana, here you do not require any other hint. You do not require any other hint. However, there are other hints as well, like launched in 2015. The objective is given, extended till 15 Finance Commission period. It has three scheme components. Okay, so there are a lot of hints. So let's identify the correct pair. Accelerated Irrigation Benefit Program, Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, no. हर खेत को पानी, Ministry of Rural Development, no. हर खेत को पानी is by the Ministry of Jal Shakti. Watershed Development, Ministry of Jal Shakti, no. By the Ministry of Rural Development. And हर खेत को पानी, Ministry of Jal Shakti, बिल्कुल सही. The right answer is option D, my dear friends. Option D is the correct answer to this particular question. ठीक है? And the next question based on per drop more crop. It's again a question. The scheme X was implemented under PMKSY as a component since 22-23. It is being implemented under RKBY to enhance water use efficiency in agriculture through micro irrigation technologies like drip and sprinkler irrigation systems. Which of the following statements is correct with respect to the financial assistance provided under the scheme? Okay, 45% is subsidy is provided to small and marginal farmers. Note 45, but they provided with 55%. Farmers other than small and marginal farmers get a subsidy of 55, not 55, 45. उल्टा लिखा हुआ है ये. ठीक है, ये है, ये है. Northeastern and Valley states get a 25% higher subsidy, and states with low micro irrigation penetration get a 15% higher subsidy. C and D are absolutely correct. The right answer is only 3 and 4. अच्छा, यहाँ पे 1 2 3 4 होना चाहिए था. This must be 1 2 3 and 4. Only 3 and 4 is the right answer, option B. Alright guys, that's it for both these schemes. I hope both the schemes are clear, and I will see you in the next class. Please share the session with everyone so that everyone can join these classes. Because, every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 8 a.m. Thank you very much. Goodbye. Take care and God bless.